Mother-in-law! You entered our side of the house again, didn't you? Just because it's a multi-generational house and you can enter our side of the house by the stairs, which aren't locked, doesn't mean you can just enter without our permission. Oh, and please give me back the dress you took from my room. Huh? Are you accusing me of theft? But I would never do such a thing. Besides, it's not fit for a married woman to wear such a luxurious wine-red dress in the first place. A married woman needs to wear clothes that are less revealing and straightforward. Mother-in-law? But I haven't told you yet which dress was taken from my room. How do you know that it was that dress that went missing? Huh? As you already know, I'm a fashion designer, which means that I also have a ton of clothes. I've got at least 30 dresses, I think, yet you described the dress that suddenly disappeared from my wardrobe precisely. You do know that that's basically the same as admitting you took it without my permission, right? Well, I just happened to guess correctly which dress you were talking about. I see. So you had some sort of superpower you didn't tell me about? Should I hire some sort of magazine that deals with the supernatural to interview you or something? You see, I know someone who works for such a magazine, so I could make it happen. I mean, you do like standing out, don't you? Fine. You want me to give it back to you, right? I'll bring it to you later. Thank you. Give it back to me by today. Do you have a problem with that? But I was planning on wearing it to the theater tomorrow since I was going with some friends. But I never gave you permission to wear it in the first place. Besides, that dress wouldn't fit you. But I can't trust you, so give it back to me right now. Fine. You really are such a disrespectful wife. I'm your mother-in-law, so you need to show me a bit more respect. Says the person that just stole my dress. Honestly, I'm amazed at how you can still say something like that after being caught. Hello, Polly. I've been thinking since our last conversation. I've decided that you need to quit your job. Huh? I was looking at my phone since it was my lunch break when I saw you texted me. What is it that you want now? You see, I thought about it carefully and realized that the reason you were so disrespectful to me, even though you're just my son's wife, is because you work in such a flashy place as the fashion industry. A normal wife would be satisfied wearing a sweatshirt and some jeans and maybe even an apron. But aren't you a wife yourself? But it looks like you've got a collection of quite the flashy clothes as well. It's fine if it's me who does it. Besides, both my sons, Alvaro and Leon, are interested in fashion and work in the fashion industry. It would be embarrassing for them if their mother wasn't a stylish woman fluent in fashion, which is why it's fine if I do it. Okay, but by your logic, shouldn't the wife also be fluent in fashion? No, of course not. Especially not someone like you. As your mother-in-law, I am your superior, which means that while I'm allowed to wear luxurious clothes, you aren't. Fashion is only going to be a nuisance in your education as my son's wife. Huh? My education as your son's wife? I'm sorry, but I don't remember asking you for such an education. It doesn't matter whether you asked me for it or not. As my son's wife, you need to undergo this training, otherwise I'm going to make the two of you get divorced. What I'm trying to say is that I'm going to be kind enough to train you as this house's housewife from now on. And part of this training is going to sleep on our side of the house from now on. Oh, and don't forget to turn in your letter of resignation to your workplace today before going home, all right? You make me laugh. What makes you think that you have the authority to make me do that? You're going to make the two of us get divorced, huh? Well, good luck with that, because I doubt Alvaro is going to listen to you as well. Huh? What's with that tone of voice? I'm your mother-in-law, and you have no right to speak to me like that. Apologize to me right now or else. I need to go and meet some clients after I eat my lunch, so goodbye. I don't have time to put up with your nonsense. You're saying this is nonsense? I'm not going to forgive you insulting me, your mother-in-law, like this. I was thinking about starting your training for real from tomorrow, but I guess I'm going to have to change my plans. I'm going to start training you as a housewife starting today. Get ready for when you come home. Polly! I was wondering why you wouldn't come home yesterday. But I went to see the garage this morning and it looks like you came home late at night. You're so pathetic sneaking around like this. I know that you don't want to undergo my training, but you're going to go that far to avoid it? I'm going to see you right now. Jesus, and to think I told you that I would begin your training as a housewife starting yesterday. Just what is the meaning of this? You're sleeping in longer than when you worked at your office. Although this means that you did listen to me and quit your job, I guess. I'll be a bit less strict on you for doing that. Thankfully, I brought a bucket of cold water, though, because I thought you might not want to get up. I made your bed wet as well, but I'm sure that bucket of cold water woke you up, didn't it? It's a good thing your bed got wet, I guess, because now you won't be able to go back to bed. Oh, I came up with a good idea. I'm going to wake you up like this every day now. I mean, it's the perfect way to start a day of housewife training, don't you think? All right, it's decided then. I'm going to dump a bucket of cold water on you every day now to wake you up. What? Mother-in-law, what in the world are you talking about? Come now, hurry up and come to the kitchen on our side of the house. I'll start with teaching you how to cook because of the food you make is terrible. But I had somewhere to go yesterday, so I stayed at a hotel. I never came home last night, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Huh? Wait, so you didn't listen to me and resign after all? And what do you mean you had to go somewhere? Don't tell me, but are you cheating on Alvaro? Jesus, I knew you were an incompetent housewife, but to think that you would go so far as to cheat on my son? I need to tell him about this right away. What? No, I had to go on a business trip to meet some clients. I flew to Sicily right after the conversation we had yesterday afternoon, and I'm currently staying at a business hotel. Huh? You went on a business trip to Sicily? What? Didn't I tell you this already? What are you talking about, Polly? But your car is in the garage and... I didn't use the car yesterday and I left it in the garage. What? Yeah, but you always sleep in the room next to the living room on your side of the house, right? You were in bed when I came to check on you. If you weren't home last night, then who was that person sleeping in your bed? That must have been Leon. What? Leon? Why would he be sleeping there? I heard that Alvaro and Leon both don't have work today. Alvaro told me that Leon was going to sleep on our side of the house since the two of them were going to play video games. What? Oh, and he asked me whether it was all right if Leon used my bed. I wasn't going to be home yesterday anyways, so I said it was all right. So the person I threw a bucket of water on was... It was probably Leon, but... Shouldn't you go back to my room and check who you threw a bucket of cold water on yourself? Hold on, did you seriously just throw a bucket of cold water on someone and leave before they could even see who it was? But there was no way it was Leon. Polly, there's a family emergency and you still haven't come home? This is your fault, Polly. Could you please not make this my fault? I never asked to have a bucket of cold water thrown on me, even though it was actually Leon you did that to. And I never asked to undergo this housewife training of yours in the first place as well. I already told you that that was a requirement if you were going to live in our house, didn't I? Besides, this is your fault because if you had quit your job just like I told you to and agreed to my housewife training, I would have been the one who had the bucket of cold water poured on them this morning and not Leon. Is that what you're trying to say? What makes you think that dumping a bucket of cold water on me would have been any better? But it was supposed to be a part of your housewife training. Unlike Leon, you wouldn't have had the right to get mad at me. Instead, though... Huh? Who do you think I am, your slave or something? By the way, Leon just called me earlier and apologized for your actions, you know. Huh? Yes, he said he was going to resign because of this. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? What does me making a mistake and dumping a bucket of cold water on him have anything to do with him resigning from his job? Well, his mother-in-law did just try and dump a bucket of cold water on the CEO of the company he works for. What? The CEO? If I was in his position, I think I would also feel responsible for this. Polly, what do you mean I tried to dump a bucket of cold water on the CEO of the company he works for? Well, I don't think there's any point in hiding it from you anymore, so I'll tell you. I haven't told you about it until now, since Leon and Alvaro didn't want me to. What in the world are you talking about? Stop talking and just tell me. You seriously can't guess the truth for yourself based on what I already told you? You see, I'm actually the CEO of the fashion company that Leon and Alvaro work for. You're what? Why didn't you tell me something this important until now? You see, Leon and Alvaro came to me before me and Alvaro got married and told me that it was probably a good idea to keep it a secret from you. They thought that, judging by your personality, there was a high possibility that if you found out that I had a higher rank at the company than the two of them, you would start bullying me. But at the end of the day, it looks like there wasn't any point, since you started bullying me regardless. And even tried to make me quit my job so I could undergo your housewife training. You even went so far as to try and dump a bucket of cold water on me this morning. Leon saw his mother's foolish actions and was so shocked that he told me by phone call that he was going to resign. He said that he was too ashamed at his mother's actions to continue working at my company. But all I was trying to do was train you as this house's housewife. What's so wrong about that? It's your fault for being so disrespectful to me, even though I'm your superior. Huh? So you seriously think that what you did was perfectly normal? First of all, I don't plan on becoming a housewife, and even if I did, I would never ask for this housewife training of yours. And second of all, I don't think that what you had in mind for me was training, but rather you making me do the housework for you. Anyways, Leon's not actually going to be quitting. Of course, Leon is a highly competent employee, and so him quitting would be a huge blow to the company. Which is why I convinced him to stay at the company. Oh, is that so? Good on you for not letting him quit. I guess I just panicked for no reason then. Yes. But Leon is a hard-working and honest person, so there's no way he's just going to pretend like nothing ever happened. I doubt things are just going to go back to normal, mother-in-law. You went a bit too far this time. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? What do you mean things aren't going to go back to normal? It's the same for my husband Alvaro as well. He's not just going to pretend that you didn't do anything wrong. Huh? Seriously, what are you talking about, Polly? What do you mean Alvaro as well? It seems that the two of them are going to have a discussion with you and your husband tonight at your side of the house. Please listen to what they have to tell you. Huh? Just what is going on here? Are you in some sort of plan with the three of them or something? Like I said, just listen to what they're going to tell you tonight. Well then, I'll be staying at this hotel in Sicily tonight as well. Goodbye. Polly! Please do something about this. Stop my sons from doing this. I'm sure they'll listen to you if you tell them that this was all just a big misunderstanding. Oh, you're talking about the discussion you had with them yesterday, right? Wait, hold on. Are you seriously trying to ask me for help right now? After everything that you did to me? What makes you think that I would want to help you? But of course you have to help me because I'm your mother-in-law and I'm telling you to. At this rate, the whole family is going to fall apart. Leon says that he doesn't want the girlfriend he's currently going out with to get bullied like you were by me, which is why he was going to go by his wife's last name and live with her family instead. And Alvaro said that he's going to be moving out with you by the end of this month. Well, I guess that was only to be expected, don't you think? Honestly, I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner. Not only that, but even my husband as well. He said that he's going to get divorced with me. Why? What did I do to him? Yes, I already heard about it from Alvaro. I was honestly a bit surprised to hear that your husband was going to divorce you, but I think that it can't be helped, I guess. He must have finally lost patience with you after having to live with you for so long. Why? What did I do to make him lose patience? But I was the perfect housewife. Can't you figure it out on your own? I can't. We got along so well as family up until now. Are you sure that's the case? I only heard about this from Leon and Alvaro, so I can't really say much, but apparently you were quite the difficult mother growing up. Have you ever thought about whether you've been fulfilling your role as a wife and mother in this house? Yes! Everything I did was perfect up until now. I see. So that's what you were thinking. Even when faced with the truth, you still say things like that without hesitation. You see, what Alvaro told me is that you barely did any housework and made your husband do most of it, even though you didn't have a job. Despite that, though, you kept acting like the master of the house and kept telling everyone else how to live their lives. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? I would never do such a thing. Never mind. And if I say this to you, you're just going to reject it, so I won't even bother trying to explain it to you anymore. Huh? What even is that? Who do you think you are, even? Tell me why my son and husband are doing this to me. I know. You fed them some of your lies and made them do this, didn't you? You snake. Tell my son and husband that you were the one who was wrong all along and not me. Or else. It looks like words alone won't be able to change your mind. I'm not going to talk to you about this any further, since I think it would be for your own sake if you thought about this for yourself. Huh? We're going to be moving out soon, and I don't have any intention of visiting your side of the house anymore. Hold on. Fine, I get it. I'll forgive you for being so disrespectful to me until now, so tell my sons and husband to stop this madness. Oh, and I promise I'll be nice to you from now on, so please don't move out of the house. But isn't that your problem, mother-in-law? This is why your son and husband are fed up with you, I think. Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean my son and husband are fed up with me? Well, this is a bit early, but farewell, mother-in-law. What? Polly! I'll give you anything you want, so please just tell my family that they're making a big deal out of nothing. I don't want to be left alone. I'm already in my 60s, Polly. You can't just do this to an old woman. You should have thought about that earlier. Goodbye, mother-in-law. After that, Alvaro and I moved out without saying a single word to my mother-in-law. According to my husband, my mother-in-law was an example of a woman that was raised in a wealthy family and ended up being selfish and arrogant, expecting everyone to treat her like a princess. She must have been quite the mother to make her own son say something like that. And I unconsciously felt bad for Alvaro considering the difficult childhood he must have had. A few weeks after Alvaro and I moved out, Alvaro's parents got divorced. My former mother-in-law moved to her parents' mansion in the neighboring prefecture, which was currently occupied by her brother's family, but apparently she was told by her brother, "Aren't you a bit too old to come home like this?" She now lives with her brother's family, being avoided and given cold looks from them, and is no longer as arrogant as she once was. My brother-in-law Leon decided to get married after his parents got divorced. Apparently, my former mother-in-law only found out about this after the marriage, and now cries to herself in her room while being avoided by everyone around her.